Morning, Dudu. Interesting you talking about some of the challenges in the Western Cape. That's something we touched on with Alan Windey, the DA's premier in the province a little earlier. But I'm standing right now, as you say, on the floor at Gallagher Convention Centre, and it's almost a fault line between Dr Mpho Phalatse's hub, her desk, and that of John Steenhuisen, the incumbent. They're going to go toe-to-toe and address those 2,000 delegates this afternoon from around 2 o'clock to try and win them over ahead of voting for the new, or old as it may be, leader of the DA, the official opposition as it touts itself. Now, I had sight of Dr Phalatse just a moment ago. She is doing the media run with the members of the DA who are here, including some fans who've come to get their pictures. Dr Phalatse, you've walked in, you're ready to go, you have an address this afternoon to the delegates here, the 2,000. What are you going to say to try and win them over to vote for you as incoming leader of the DA?
My key message is to conscientize everyone to what time it is in our country, where for the first time we're going to see the ANC go below 40%. We have a responsibility as the DA to position ourselves to be a credible alternative to the ANC in the 2024 election, and I'm trusting them to give me their votes so I can lead the party into this new exciting era where we can see the DA govern at a national level.
So you're hoping perhaps the picture behind us is going to be the one on the DA's national posters for the 2024 elections. Some of those I've spoken to here on the floor say that John Steenhuisen is tried and tested. He's risen through the ranks. You're no stranger to the DA, though. What's your counter to that kind of tried and tested argument for him over you?
So there's this notion that your length of time in the party will determine your effectiveness. I don't agree with that. I entered the Democratic Alliance at an advanced stage in my career. I had a lot of qualifications and experience both in the private sector and the public sector. I brought that into the DA 8 years ago, and as soon as I became a councillor, I was an MMC. I was very effective in my role as MMC. Put my hand up to be mayor. Very effective in that role in very difficult circumstances, leading a very unstable, complex coalition, and yet managing to get a lot done in those circumstances. So no, I don't agree that the length of time in the party will determine your effectiveness. If that were the case, then Jacob Zuma would have been one of the best presidents we've had in this country.
Certainly you are more educated than your contestant for the leadership of the DA. How do you think that plays into your skill set for the role?
Well, I've worked in the public sector. I was trained for the public sector. I specialize in public health medicine, which is public administration with a focus on health care. I've been a technocrat in government. I've seen how politics can sometimes get in the way of progress. I've been in politics. I believe that I can bring the balance that's required. A lot of times unstable politics can lead to unstable governance, and I believe that with my experience, both as a technocrat and as a politician, I will be able to bring that balance for stability in our government, for stable service delivery.
Natasha Matsone earlier was saying, quote, you're a nice lady. She disagrees with some 60% of your proposals in your leadership bid. But she also said, when I asked her about hemorrhaging the likes of Lindiwe Mazibuko, Musi Maimane, heavyweights in South African politics in the DA of late, until, of course, they became history within the party. What makes you think that you've got the staying power that some of the prior leaders of the DA didn't have?
Staying or leaving is a personal choice. When I'm faced with a challenge, the same has happened in Alexandra. When I was working in that clinic and I saw the living conditions of the people of Alex, I could have walked away, but I chose to stay. I chose to enter politics and be part of the solution. I will apply the same approach here in the DA. Whatever challenges there may be, I choose to stay and be part of the solution.
As you say that, your feet are firmly on the ground. They're in my eye shot. Dr Phalatse, thank you for your time and best for the conference. Right, so that's on the one side, as I say. We're going to move just across that fault line now, making our way past a group of delegates amongst the 2,000 here for this DA Federal Conference. Of course, it has a future-driven orientation, which you see in the slogan for this year, which is about building a DA for the future. And we're here now with John Steenhuisen. He too is doing the selfie run. I hope you have sound, because it is certainly a cacophony here in the center. Steenhuisen, in fact, brought these selfie frames with him when he arrived in the very early hours of this morning. Some members of Team Germiston here. John Steenhuisen, we're just going to pop our heads through your frame quickly. We've spoken to your rival for leader of the DA, Dr Phalatse. Tell us, what are you going to put forward to delegates come your address at 2 o'clock to try and win them over?
I'm going to be put forward a very clear example about where we've come from, where we find ourselves now, but more importantly, where we need to be in 2024. Setting out a very clear vision about how we can get the party there, focusing on things that matter to ordinary South Africans, driving issues continuously, showing people that we care, but also using where we govern as a proof point to show people that where the DA governs, life gets better.
And you're hoping your picture will be on the DA poster for 2024. Are you sure you're the right face for the party going into the national elections where you hope to gain much more ground in South African politics?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
You hope your face will be on the poster for 2024 for the DA. Are you sure you're the right face for the party gaining more ground with voters in South Africa in 2024?
Well, of course, I wouldn't be standing if I didn't think I was the right person for the job. And I think the supporters will show that as well.
A politician's answer, to be sure. Ma'am, you're here with Mr. Steenhuisen. Tell me where you're from and...
I'll be to explain. And he is the best. But they said he's the best. He's gonna win.
All right, well, there's a lot of support around John Steenhuisen. It is very rowdy here, as you can tell, Dudu. The mood swelling. Of course, we have that address from Federal Chair Dr Ivan Meyer. That's going to happen just after 9 o'clock. And then, and then we will go into the opening sort of procedure of this conference. It's set down for 2 days. A lot of eyes on the leadership race, of course, but there are some 82 proposed amendments to the DA's constitution. Those are to be discussed in sessions, and there are a number of other leadership positions that need to be considered as well. Also important just to put squarely on the table the issue of coalition politics. Helen Ziller mentioned this when we spoke to her earlier today, and the DA learning its lessons from municipal coalitions and other coalitions at a local government level and taking those most likely into national politics come 2024.
Yeah, Aaron, it's going to definitely be a busy 2 days. Thank you very much for that. So we heard from a very confident and jovial candidate that it is a two-man and woman race, a two-horse race, if you will, between John Steenhuisen and Mpho Phalatse.